Leo, I have a challenge for you. No preparing, no thinking. Just answer instantly.
Oh no, every time you say just answer instantly, something goes wrong for me.
Ready?
Okay, fine.
Introduce yourself.
Wait, what? Right now?
Go ahead. Who are you?
I'm Leo. I work. I drink too much coffee. I have a plant named Bernard.
Bernard?
He's very dignified, very quiet, slightly dying, but still dignified.
So even you, someone who literally talks for a living, froze the moment I said introduce yourself.
Completely froze. And honestly, that question might be the most deceptively stressful thing in the English language.
It sounds harmless. It sounds easy. And then someone asks it and your brain just disconnects.
Packs a little bag and leaves.
Exactly. Goes somewhere peaceful without you. Okay, before we go further, hello, English learners. Welcome back to Mr. English Daily, your relaxed, friendly space to build real English through natural conversation. I'm Luna.
And I'm Leo, and we are genuinely happy you're here today because this episode, it's one of those topics that seems simple on the surface, but is actually incredibly powerful once you get it right.
Today we're talking about how to talk about yourself in English, with confidence, with warmth, and without sounding like you're reading from an official document.
And here is what we're promising you today. By the time this episode ends, you'll know how to introduce yourself naturally, talk about your background, describe your personality honestly, share what you love, and express your goals, all in real, flowing English.
Not stiff textbook English, not memorized robotic English, the kind of English that makes someone think, oh, this person is interesting. I want to keep talking to them.
Which is really the whole point of conversation, isn't it?
Exactly. This episode is pitched at B2 to early C1 level, so the language will be natural and a little more layered, but we'll explain everything clearly as we move through it.
And at the end, we have our word tour section, where we pull out the most useful words and phrases from today's conversation and show you exactly how to use them in real situations.
So, get comfortable. Let's do this together.
All right, so why is this question so hard? Because objectively, it shouldn't be. You know yourself better than literally anyone.
You'd think that, yes.
You've spent your entire life inside your own head. You are the world's leading expert on yourself. And yet someone says, tell me about yourself, and the whole system crashes.
I think the question feels too open. There's no clear edge to it. Where do you start? Your job, your childhood, your dreams, your whole life story compressed into 30 seconds?
Do you mention Bernard the plant?
Probably not in a first meeting, but your point stands. The question has no obvious starting point, and that's what makes it feel overwhelming.
There's also another layer to it. A lot of people feel self-conscious when they talk about themselves.
Self-conscious. Yes. Say more about that.
So, self-conscious means you're very aware of how you're coming across, how you look, how you sound, what the other person is thinking, and you start asking yourself, am I sharing too much? Am I being boring? Do I sound arrogant?
And that makes the whole thing so much harder.
It does, because instead of just talking, you're talking and evaluating yourself at the exact same time. That's exhausting. And for English learners, there's an extra dimension. You're deciding what to say and how to say it in another language simultaneously.
That's genuinely a lot happening at once. And I want to be clear about this. That anxious, slightly panicked feeling when someone asks about you, completely normal. Native speakers feel it too.
Yes, so the first thing we want to do today is take the pressure off. Talking about yourself in English is a skill, and like every skill, you learn it, practice it, and get better over time.
Step by step. That's how we're doing this.
All right, let's start at the very beginning, the introduction. You meet someone new. What do you actually say?
Because the version most people learn in English class goes something like, hello, my name is Leo. I am 32 years old. I live in London. I am a content creator.
And then silence. Everyone just nods slowly and looks at the floor.
It sounds like a police report. Very accurate. Zero personality.
In real conversation, that version falls flat because it gives the other person nothing to respond to. There's no texture, no invitation, no thread to pull.
A thread to pull. I love that phrase.
A good introduction is one that opens a door slightly. You include one small, genuine detail that naturally invites a follow-up question.
So instead of, my name is Leo and I'm 32, you might say, hey, I'm Leo. I actually grew up in a really small coastal town, which surprises people because I don't sound like it at all. And then you smile.
And now the other person goes, oh really? Where? And suddenly you're in a conversation, not an interview.
That's all an introduction needs to do. It doesn't need to be impressive. It just needs to be a little bit human.
Like, I'm Luna. I spent several years living abroad, which means I'm permanently homesick for at least 3 different cities at any given time.
Warm, a little funny, personal, and now I have 5 questions I want to ask you.
Exactly. And the formula, if you want one, is simple. Your name, 1 line about your background or current situation, and 1 small, honest detail that creates a natural opening.
And don't chase perfection. The goal isn't a flawless introduction. The goal is to make the other person feel at ease and a little curious.
Because first impressions...
Oh, good one. First impression means the opinion or feeling someone forms about you the very first moment they encounter you, and it forms fast, sometimes before the conversation gets warmed up.
So what you say and how you say it in those first moments genuinely matters.
But here's the reassuring part. A first impression doesn't need to be spectacular. It just needs to feel real.
And real is something anyone can do.
Okay, so you've introduced yourself, things are moving, and then someone asks, so, what's your background? Where are you from?
And again, big question, so many possible directions.
Let's make it simple. In conversation, background means your story, where you grew up, what you studied, where you worked, what experiences shaped you. It's the history behind who you are right now.
Your origin story, like a superhero, but hopefully calmer.
Significantly fewer explosions.
So how do you talk about background naturally? The key is, tell a short story, not a list.
What's the difference?
A list sounds like, I am from Brazil, I studied design, I worked in Sao Paulo for 4 years. Now I live in Berlin. Technically correct, no personality.
A story sounds like, I grew up in Brazil, actually in a pretty small city in the south, studied graphic design there, and then somehow ended up in Berlin about 3 years ago, which was not the plan, but honestly, it's been the best thing.
Same information, completely different feeling. The first version is data. The second version is a person.
And notice those small additions. Actually, honestly, somehow. Those little words give your speech warmth. They make it sound like a human being talking, not a form being filled out.
Some phrases that really help when talking about background. I grew up in, a natural, warm way to talk about where you were raised. I have a background in, useful for education or professional experience. I ended up in. This one I especially like because it suggests life took you somewhere, maybe not according to a perfect plan, but it worked out.
I ended up in marketing. I ended up in Seoul. It sounds real because life rarely goes exactly the way we expected.
Almost never. And I ended up acknowledges that honestly.
You can also use, these days I'm working on my own projects. These days I'm based in Lisbon. Very natural, very present.
And here's a useful tip. Connect your past to your present. Show the journey. For example, I studied law, but I ended up moving into communications. And honestly, there's more overlap than you'd think.
Now I want to know, what's the overlap? Tell me everything.
Exactly. Every sentence should open a door slightly, so the other person wants to walk through it.
Tell your story like a conversation, not a biography.
All right. One of the most uncomfortable moments in English. Someone looks at you and asks, so how would you describe yourself as a person?
And somehow, everyone gives the same 3 answers.
I'm a hard worker. I'm very passionate. I'm a people person.
What does people person even mean at this point?
Absolutely nothing. It's been repeated so many times it's lost all substance.
So how do you describe your personality in a way that actually sounds like you?
The secret is show. Don't just tell. Instead of only saying, I'm curious, you say something that demonstrates curiosity. Instead of just saying, I'm funny, you give a small example.
So instead of, I'm a warm person, you might say, I'm the kind of person who remembers what you ordered last time we had coffee and just gets it for you without asking.
That tells me so much more. Now I can actually picture you in a friendship.
It shows the personality instead of just labeling it.
Specific, visual, real. Here are a few phrases that help describe personality naturally. I tend to be quite reflective, or I tend to overthink things a little. It sounds self-aware without sounding rehearsed.
People say I'm easy to talk to, or people say I'm too honest sometimes. It sounds natural because you're showing how others experience you.
And this one is very useful. I'm the kind of person who. I'm the kind of person who makes a playlist for every mood. Or I'm the kind of person who needs a plan before I can relax.
That last one is extremely me.
And all of these phrases work because they're honest, specific, and a little personal. That combination is what makes a personality description feel genuine.
You also don't have to only talk about your strengths. Mentioning something small you're still figuring out or something slightly imperfect about yourself, that actually makes you more relatable.
Because no one connects with someone who sounds like a highlight reel. We connect with people who feel human, people who have quirks, people who are a bit of a mess sometimes.
Like Bernard the plant.
Bernard is honestly holding on by a thread, but I believe in him.
And that's the point. Personality becomes interesting when you give it a small scene, a small habit, a small, honest truth.
So don't just label yourself. Show us a little moment that actually feels like you.
Okay, hobbies. This is where conversations either come alive or completely stall.
How do they stall?
The stalled version goes, I like reading, or I like cooking, I enjoy walking, and then a polite nod, and then someone changes the subject.
Because there's nothing to grab onto.
But when you talk about what you love the way you actually feel about it, the whole energy shifts.
And this is where a really powerful phrase comes in. I'm passionate about.
What makes that different from just saying, I like?
Passionate about means it's not just something you casually enjoy. It's something that genuinely excites you, something you invest real time and energy in, something you could talk about for a long time if someone gave you the space.
So, I'm passionate about cooking tells a completely different story from, I like cooking. It says, this matters to me. Ask me more.
Let me try. Luna, what are you passionate about? And it cannot be spreadsheets.
Honestly, I'm passionate about documentary films, especially ones about places I've never been. There's something about watching someone else's ordinary life in another part of the world. It makes the world feel both bigger and somehow smaller at the same time.
Now I want to know which documentaries, which places, what that feeling is like when you find a really good one.
Because I didn't just say, I like films, I gave it shape. I gave it a feeling.
Color and texture. That's all it takes. Add one or two specific details, why you love it, how you got into it, one small memory connected to it.
You might say, I got into hiking completely by accident. A friend dragged me on a trail once and I spent the first 20 minutes complaining, and by the end, I was planning the next one.
There's a story there. A friend, a trail, a grumpy beginning, a change of heart.
The formula for hobbies is simple. Name it, add genuine feeling, add one specific detail.
And don't be shy about showing enthusiasm. When someone talks about something they actually love, people feel it. It draws them in.
Because enthusiasm makes English feel alive. People can hear that you mean it.
And honest is always more interesting than impressive.
So instead of trying to sound remarkable, just talk about what you genuinely enjoy in a specific, real way.
That's the sweet spot.
Goals and dreams. This one makes people feel exposed.
It does, because sharing a goal means letting someone see what you want, and then the fear kicks in. What if I don't reach it? What if they think it's naive? What if they judge me?
And that fear stops a lot of people from saying their goals out loud at all.
But here's something worth knowing. Saying your goal out loud, especially in conversation, can actually help. It makes the goal feel more real, and sometimes it connects you with someone who understands, or encourages you, or opens a door you didn't expect.
And you don't have to announce something massive. You don't have to say, I'm going to build an empire by next year. You can be much more human about it.
Some phrases that work really well are, I'm working towards getting my certification this year. I'm working towards moving to a new city. It sounds active and honest.
Something I really want to do is start a small creative project. Very natural, very real.
And one day is useful because it softens the dream without dismissing it. I want to write a book one day. It says, this matters to me, but I'm not pretending it happens overnight.
I'm at a point where I want to go deeper into what I'm doing is another good one. I'm at a point where I want more balance. Very current, very grounded.
And the key to talking about goals confidently, connect the goal to your why.
Yes, not just I want to learn Spanish, but I want to learn Spanish because my grandmother's side of the family speaks it, and I want to be able to actually talk to them, not just smile and nod.
That is immediately more powerful. There's a reason behind it, a feeling behind it.
And it opens the conversation. The other person can ask, "Oh, where is your family from?" And suddenly you're somewhere real.
Goals with a why invite dialogue. Goals without a why just sit there quietly.
And one more thing, you don't have to have everything mapped out.
That's important.
It is completely okay to say, "I'm still figuring out exactly what I want, but I know the direction I'm heading." That's honest, and it still sounds grounded.
Pretending you have all the answers isn't confidence. Saying where you actually are, calmly, clearly, and honestly, that's confidence.
And sometimes just saying a goal out loud is a way to put yourself out there.
Put yourself out there. Good phrase.
To put yourself out there, it means to share something personal, to show up, to express yourself even when it feels a little risky.
You're not hiding. You're not performing. You're just offering one honest sentence.
And that is enough.
Okay, this is the balance people find really tricky. You want to come across as confident, but you don't want to sound like you're bragging.
And come across is a useful phrase here. What does it mean exactly?
To come across means how you appear to other people, the impression your words, your tone, your energy create. I want to come across as capable but approachable. She comes across as very calm under pressure. It's not about what you intend, it's about how you land.
And the difference between confidence and arrogance is actually quite clear. Confident people can talk about what they've done. Arrogant people use it to position themselves above everyone else.
There's a big difference between "I'm really proud of what I've built" and "I'm clearly the best at what I do."
One feels grounded and real. The other makes people look for a polite exit.
And confident people also listen. They don't just talk about themselves. They ask about the other person. They show genuine interest.
A phrase that strikes that balance beautifully is, "I'm really proud of." You can use it for something you worked hard on, something that genuinely means something to you. It's personal without being boastful.
Or, "One thing I've learned about myself is," this shows self-awareness, and self-awareness reads as maturity.
For example, "One thing I've learned about myself is that I work much better when I have quiet in the morning, which is a problem because I also love staying up late."
Real. A little self-aware, immediately relatable. Confidence also shows in how you handle uncertainty.
How so?
Instead of pretending, you say, "I'm not sure about that, but I'd genuinely love to find out." Instead of over-apologizing for your English or your accent, you just keep going. That is confidence, not perfection. Continuation.
Say it again, because that deserves repeating.
Confidence is not sounding perfect. Confidence is continuing even when it's imperfect.
That's the whole thing right there. Word tour.
All right, word tour time. Let's take the most useful words and phrases from today and make sure you really own them.
First up, a phrase about the very first moment someone forms an opinion of you.
First impression. A first impression is the feeling or judgment someone forms about you the very first time you meet. It happens fast, sometimes before the conversation even gets started properly.
You can say, "I want to make a good first impression at the interview."
Or, "She didn't say much at first, but her first impression was really warm."
So the first impression isn't just about looking a certain way. It's also about how you speak, what you share, and the energy you bring into the room. Let's say it together. First impression.
First impression. Next, a word for your personal history. Where you come from, what you've done, what shaped you, background.
Background means your history, your education, your work experience, your culture, the experiences that made you who you are.
You can say, "My background is in education, but now I work in content."
Or, "We come from very different backgrounds, but we have a lot in common."
Background isn't only about your country. It includes everything: your studies, your career path, your life experiences.
Let's say it. Background.
Background.
Now, a phrase for how other people experience you when you speak.
Come across.
To come across means the impression your words and behavior give to others. Not what you intend, but how you're received.
You can say, "I want to come across as confident, but not pushy."
Or, "He comes across as very genuine and easy to talk to."
So, come across is about the gap between what you mean and what people feel. Worth thinking about.
Let's say it. come across.
Come across.
Next, a word for confidence that doesn't need to announce itself.
Humble.
Humble means you know your value, but you don't need to place yourself above others because of it.
You can say, she's achieved a lot, but she's remained really humble about it.
Or, I'm proud of the progress I've made, but I try to stay humble and keep growing.
Humble doesn't mean you shrink yourself. It means you're grounded. You can be both confident and humble.
Let's say it. Humble.
Humble.
Now, a phrase for something you care about deeply, not just casually.
Passionate about. If you're passionate about something, it genuinely excites you. You invest real energy in it. It matters.
You can say, I'm passionate about storytelling and the way language connects people.
Or he's passionate about environmental design. He could talk about it for hours.
Passionate about is stronger than I like. Use it when something truly matters to you. Let's say it. Passionate about.
Passionate about.
Next, a phrase for those moments when you share something personal, even though it feels vulnerable.
Put yourself out there.
To put yourself out there means to show up, express yourself, or take a small risk by sharing something real about who you are.
You can say, joining a new conversation group really helped me put myself out there.
Or she put herself out there by sharing her goal with people she'd just met.
Putting yourself out there doesn't require being loud. Sometimes it's just one honest sentence when you'd normally stay quiet.
Let's say it. Put yourself out there.
Put yourself out there.
Now, a phrase for becoming more relaxed and comfortable as time passes.
Warm up.
To warm up means to gradually become more at ease, more open, more yourself in a situation.
You can say, I'm a bit reserved at first, but I warm up pretty quickly.
Or, he warmed up after a few minutes and was telling stories by the end.
Warm up is great for describing personality, especially if you're someone who takes a little time to open up.
Let's say it. Warm up.
Warm up. Next, a phrase for the slow, steady progress you're making towards something you want. Working towards.
Working towards means you're making real active effort, step by step, to reach a goal.
You can say, I'm working towards speaking English with more ease and less self-editing.
Or, she's been working towards launching her own project for the past year.
Working towards is powerful because it sounds active. It says, I'm not just dreaming, I'm moving.
Let's say it. Working towards.
Working towards.
And finally, the word at the heart of everything we talked about today.
Confidence.
Confidence means trusting yourself enough to speak, to try, and to keep going even when things aren't perfect.
You can say, the more I practice, the more confidence I feel.
Or, she answered the question with calm, quiet confidence.
Confidence is not about sounding flawless. It's about believing you can handle the conversation, even with a mistake or two along the way.
Let's say it. Confidence.
Confidence.
And those are your words for today. You don't need to use all of them at once. Pick one or two, practice them, make them yours.
Little by little, your English starts to sound more like you. And that is genuinely the best kind of progress there is.
So, today, remember this. You don't need one perfect answer about yourself. You need a few real phrases, a handful of honest details, and the willingness to begin.
Leave one sentence about yourself in the comments. Simple is wonderful. We would love to read it.
If this episode helped you, share it with someone who's learning English too.
Keep practicing, keep showing up, and keep putting your real self into your English.
Take care of your English.
And take care of yourself. I'm Leo,
I'm Luna.
and you've been listening to Mr. English Daily.
See you in the next one.